Why are we here? Philosophers from all walks of life and all times have debated this question. Nobody seems to have the answers. Genesis 1, verse 26. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." In the creation account, God does not really say why he created us. He simply says, "Let us," meaning the Holy Trinity, "make man in our own image." But then he gives us some purpose: to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. One of the reasons we're here is to be fruitful and multiply. One might say, the earth is full now. That directive's no longer in force. But when you look at the bigger picture, we still need to be fruitful in the work of the Lord. The work of the Lord is not complete. The harvest has not yet come. So we're still to be about the Father's business. The Father's business is the saving of souls. We're called as believers to tell others about Jesus Christ. We're still under the directive of being fruitful and multiplying. Some have asserted that the earth was inhabited before this Genesis account of creation. These same people assert that the word replenish proves it. They believe that the earth was inhabited, and for whatever reason, the earth was destroyed and laid waste, barren and desolate. There's no biblical foundation for this concept, and the whole idea is based on the word replenish. However, the word replenish actually means to stock with numbers or abundance. God wanted Adam and Eve to fill the earth with children. God also told them to subdue it, which means to bring into permanent subjection. The next thing God told them to do was to have dominion over all the creatures of the earth. After telling Adam and Eve that all the herbs of the earth were for food and for all living creatures, God said that it was good. But it wasn't long before a wrench had been thrown into the purpose of man. Satan tricked Eve into eating the forbidden fruit. She also gave some to Adam and plunged the whole world into an alternate reality. Now, it took the spilling of blood or the killing of animals to provide clothing for Adam and Eve to cover their nakedness. Animals also became meat eaters and food for humans as well. Did this change the purpose of man on earth? I don't think God changed his mind. Adam and Eve were now cast out of the garden, but were still to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Only now, things would be much harder. Childbirth would be a labor of intense pain and agony. In great sorrow would children be born. Eve's desire would be to rule over her husband, but he would rule over her. Adam would have to contend with weeds, thorns, and thistles. He would have to work hard, and the earth would only yield her fruit by the sweat of his brow. And God told Adam that from the dust of the earth he came, and to the dust of the earth he would return. This single act of rebellion brought death to all of mankind. But with this curse came a promise of a Savior. Genesis 3:15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. God told Satan that he would raise up a seed that would bruise his head. God promised Adam and Eve victory over hell and death through his seed, which was to be Jesus Christ. When Jesus was born, the angels announced, "A Savior is born." They called his name Emmanuel, which means God with us. Did this fall into sin change everything? Did the birth of a Savior change our purpose here on earth? No way. God meant what he said when he said it the first time. When Christ died on the cross, was resurrected on the third day, and was taken up into heaven, he told the apostles to go into all the world and preach the gospel. Essentially, he gave them the same directive, to be fruitful and multiply. This was the beginning of the New Testament church, and God wanted it filled with the souls of believers. Jesus spoke of the harvest being ripe and told us to pray for workers to bring in the harvest. Now, to answer our original question, why are we here? Our purpose hasn't changed. We're here to work God's plan from the beginning, to be fruitful and multiply. That means staying busy with the Father's business, which is the harvesting of souls.